Hello, everybody. Okay, Business Tarot Tuesdays. Welcome. I'm Ashley Bradley. I'm an intuitive business coach. And as you guys are joining us, as you're coming in this evening, we are going to do mini business tarot readings. So as you arrive, if you want a reading, just hop into the comments and let me know. I do have Solange who helps me out. And so if you let her know in the comments that you want a reading, then we're going to start doing our little number system here. And that allows us to hop around and basically be in a flow tonight with these readings that the universe can take part in. And so instead, it doesn't mean that we're going to go like number 1, 2, 3, but if you're number 2, like I'll sort of hop around a bit, and then when I say okay, number 2, she'll let me know who it is, and we'll do your reading. So just let me know if you'd like one tonight, and we're doing any kind of business topic. So it could be business, it could be career, it might be purpose or money. Those are all within the intuitive realm that I get the best information on. So I like to stay in that space. So anything in there is fair game. So yeah, just say hello. I'd love it as well if you guys can like this, if you can share this, if you could tag somebody who you think might enjoy it, because it's just always more fun with other people. And yeah, I'm excited to share this. So we will get started whenever we get the first person. We're going to go from 6 Pacific to 7 Pacific tonight. So if you are one of the first people to be here, then more than likely you will definitely get a reading. So we are using a few different decks. We are using, primarily I use this Angel Tarot, and then a few of the other ones that make appearances sometimes, as I feel called, is this Life Purpose deck. Life Purpose. I have a wonderful Divine Feminine deck that gets pulled in sometimes. Divine Feminine. And maybe we'll see kind of what kind of mood I'm in. I never really know exactly what deck I'm going to pull from until you ask your questions. It's a surprise for all of us. But I do have this Mystical Shaman deck as well, which is amazing. It's like one of my favorite decks personally. So as you guys get here, I'm ready to dive into readings. I'm ready to do this with you. So just say, I want a reading, and Solange is going to help you in the comments. So she's going to give you a number, and basically we're going to just hop around a little bit. So after she gets the numbers going for you guys, I'll let her know what number I'm drawn to. And if you're one of the first people arriving, more than likely you're going to get a reading tonight. That's usually how it works. Some of the people that are hopping on in like the last 15 minutes, mostly go, but get your spot now is what I'm saying. Get it now. So you have to say directly as well, I would like a reading, because of free will choice. And Maria, I see you modeling it beautifully. And what I would say like as well would be great, just sort of a little bit of tweaking with the questions. Thank you for reminding me of that, Maria, is like we try to do bigger picture questions. So rather than doing like yes or no, just what are you seeing with me in terms of money? What are you seeing with me in terms of reaching my business goals or my money goals? I can tune into the energy a lot more with that and see what the read is on it today, how it's looking today based on what's going on. What's great is that if you like the answer, you're like, cool, like I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going on the right track. If there's something that feels a little bit off, then usually what I get through spirit is some things to change that energy, some things to kind of tweak it and to shift you around so that you are in energetic alignment with what you're wanting. So we always have free will choice. I think that's what's beautiful about these readings, is that it's something that allows us to sort of take our energetic temperature, so to speak, and see where we're at. Okay, so Haley and Maria. Okay, we're going to shift to more of a mindset. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go with you first, Maria, and then Haley will go with you after, and then for everybody else, we'll have Solange get you guys a number so that you guys can shift around. And hey, Maria, how are you? I love that photo of you. Okay. just want to take like a big, deep breath, a big inhale when I connect with your energy. So I'm going to get quiet for just a moment. If you want to set the intention and hold that question in your heart while I'm tuning in as well. Okay. Things do feel really powerful when I connect in with you. It's like an expansion. As soon as I step into the energy, I don't know if you're feeling that as well right now, but I just feel kind of like a no fucking around tone. Like it does feel like I'm still laughing while I'm saying it, but it feels very incredibly strong, very incredibly powerful. So this 3 of Earth card comes in. And so the Earth cards in this deck are representing a lot of manifestation into physical reality. It's definitely a really good card when it comes to money. It's talking about the power of creativity, recognition for very high quality of work, and being a team player. So they're talking to me about a few things. They're talking to me about that sometimes you have the ability to be, they're using the word stubborn, but it doesn't seem like they're sort of saying it in kind of a light, playful way, but it feels a little bit like that sometimes you're kind of holding on to things too tightly and they're asking you to let go of them. And they're just sort of saying like, you're kind of being stubborn with what you're hanging on to, and we need you to release. We need you to release. And they're just talking a lot about release, release, release. So you're saying walking in your Dr. Empower mode. Okay. So has release been a really big theme for you? Has that been something like in those words? I just pulled another one out just to be like, what else is here? And it's another Earth card. So I know that you're asking questions about money and abundance. And so I'm really seeing a lot here in terms of the money card showing up for you. So this is the 5 of Earth card. This one's talking about some fears surrounding money, the wisdom to accept help from others, and uncertain self-employment. They're saying questioning. There's been a lot of like inner conversations and sort of like at a few moments of questioning the path, and they're just talking about how that you know already that you're meant to be doing this, and to just like sort of drop the questions, to know that you come in with a lot of protection. And like this card, if you see all of the sort of fogginess, the haziness that goes along with it, there's so much gold, there's so much abundance, but there's that sort of darkness in there, kind of showing me that there's been a lot of things lately that have caused you to question it and if it's going to work out. So it's really time to just release all of that, because I just feel like it's dragging you down, and I feel like it's sort of they're showing me a clock, like it's sort of the final piece of the puzzle that's clicking in, that clicks in, and then you just go. So just stay with it. Like that's all I think I really want to say is just like stay with that work, everything that you're doing in terms of the release. It feels like if those are the words that you've been doing, when you're saying thanks for validating my inner work, just keep trusting that, keep doing that. But I think, so this makes sense. Yeah, just this is, to me, like with 2 money cards coming in and a money question, I feel like it's just big yeses. But I think that it feels like one kind of final up level for this rebirth, and then kind of clicking into place. Okay. Perfect sense. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go to Haley and then Alyssa. I know Alyssa, we got you at 6:15, so we'll pull you in. And then everybody else, as you're arriving, please like this, please share this, please like tag somebody that wants to come hang out and get a business reading. I appreciate all of that. And Solange will get you a number, and we'll just start jumping around. Okay. Which direction should I go in my business and work life? Okay. They're bringing me the number 3, Haley. I feel like it's coming quickly for you, even though I'm like still trying to shuffle. I almost feel like there's a franticness to your energy to decide as well. I feel like that's why I'm feeling it. It's kind of like the energy of the person steps in with them before I even pull a card. And so I'm feeling a lot of scalp tingling as well. So I'm also feeling like there's a lot of tuning in, connecting into spirit. Have you been talking to spirit as well and considering a spiritual path, spiritual work, readings? Like I feel like, oh, yeah. Love when that happens. Love when that happens. Okay. So I just pulled the spiritual teacher card. So I was asking you that. What is it that you do? Wonder if what it is that you do, what you're considering, and if one of those things has to do with spirituality, healing. You might even be thinking about it in terms of making an impact on other people. But when it says spiritual teacher, I do want you to see, do you see how it shows like all of the different signs around it? It's like kind of totality, oneness is really what I'm seeing here. But I do feel like you might not be thinking about it as a spiritual path, but I see that you've been asking for work that is fulfilling, and to you, like that means meaning, that you are wanting to be of service. And I feel like it's something where you've been looking for your purpose, where you've been asking for it, where you've been seeking it. And I just want you to know that there are many different paths. They're like saying that you're like being very hard, that you've sort of made up this narrative in your mind that you have to have one thing, that it has to be one thing. And there's so many different ways, and this is going to evolve. But I just want you to know that I see you going in the direction. I want you to lay out sort of the things. They brought in the number 3 with you. But I want you to think about the one that allows you to be of service, the one that you feel like is going to fill your heart. You said, I love that. You're like, I'm all about that. Is it that you're all about the love and oneness? Because there's something that gives you more of that feeling, more of that essence. And that is your spiritual path. Not everyone does the same kind of, spiritual work like this, but I do feel like for you, it does need to be the one that speaks to your heart, that speaks to your soul. And I think that that's going to connect for you. The other card, try to do one card, you guys, but sometimes I just have to choose 2. So the King of Earth card, it's talking about generous, responsible, practical. I almost feel like I see you laughing, like kind of like, okay, like I almost feel like you don't see yourself that way, but I just want you to it feels like there's been so much going on that you haven't been able to kind of be in your usual routines and rituals. And so they're just saying like, girl, just take it easy on yourself. Just take it easy on yourself. It's saying a successful time, confidently accept opportunities that you're offered, and the Midas touch. So I just want you to remember that everything that they're bringing in tonight, Haley, is basically like, it doesn't necessarily matter which of these that you choose. It's more about how you feel when you're going about it, and that you can create with this Midas touch, that you can create that magic wherever you go. It goes with you. You take it. And wherever you're feeling amazing and great is the place that you end up having the greatest prosperity. And so they're just kind of pointing you back here, where you're looking out here for the answers. And I see you talking to a lot of friends and family, and like there's a lot of conversations that they're kind of showing me happening, and it's sort of showing you sort of spinning a bit, sort of being like, like, well, my dad says that I should do this, and then my boyfriend says this, and like, what do I do? And I'm just kind of making that up. Yeah, but yes, that's definitely, so that makes sense for you. So I hear you saying you like when I do 2 cards. Time to take a step back, relax. Yeah, I think that you're just putting a lot of pressure on yourself. A lot of pressure. Yes, okay. So I know we are going to go to Alyssa, and after that, I am going to go to the numbers that you guys have been getting. Okay, Alyssa. I don't have any reserved ones after that, so we're just going to dive into you guys with the numbers. And remember, we have a link where you can join. So if you're like, I want to go next, I don't want to wait until she calls my number, then we do have a link where you can actually join through audio or video, and we could pretend like we're on like a radio show together and talk to each other. Yeah. And so, yeah, that's an option. That's totally an option, and that'll get you to the front of the line. And we'll probably go a little bit deeper too if you do that. So, just an option. Okay. So, Alyssa, what do I do? What do I need to do next to get my business going? What do I need to do next to get my business going? Okay, Alyssa, I'm going to tune into you. Okay. Okay. So they're showing me first like a lot of shuffling around, kind of like a lot of working on graphics, a lot of working on things behind the scenes, but it's just kind of very much kind of like shuffling, kind of moving things from here to there. It feels like a lot of arranging of things going on right now. Not as many things like sort of being out there, but it does feel like there's a lot of like a lot of kind of thinking about things and doing things. And so I just name that because sometimes when we start businesses, we do a lot of that shuffling around thing because it feels like kind of like busy and productive. But just remember to always ask yourself the question, like, will this like lead to money? Like, how long will this take, right? Because I feel like everyone kind of goes for the website and does the thing. So the card that I picked, perfect card for what I just said, actually, this 10 of air card. The air card is very much about the mind and the intellect. So it shows that there's been a lot going on in your head with all of this. It says, the end of a difficult situation, embrace the change, and expect things to get better now. It talks about recovering from an addiction, but we are all addicted to something really. So basically, I would put that through the filter of sort of letting go of some kind of habit, even some thinking pattern or something like that. We all have things like that. I also get this sense of you, like this card for me is about breaking away from the pack. And a lot of the thoughts that come in when we choose to break away from the pack. I'm feeling it primarily in my solar plexus, and it's almost like there's an uncomfortable feeling in my body. But what they're sort of renaming it as is an expansion. They're explaining to me that like your solar plexus is expanding. It's sort of being cracked wide open. It's being sort of worked on by spirit in order to hold a different kind of energy than it's ever held before. So if you feel things right in that area, I just want you to rename it, because they're telling me that you have been noticing that very kind of visceral sensation of feeling uncomfortable. Like even if your mind maybe logically isn't feeling uncomfortable, it's sort of a body sense of uncomfortable, and that's showing up for you. But if you just rename it and you realize that there's a lot of work going on from your spirit team, they're talking about it being certain upgrades in terms of the solar plexus. That does feel very related to your up level. So it's okay. Like, I feel like when these energetic healings and these activations happen, sometimes our energy dips a little bit, and sometimes it's hard for us to like kind of compel ourselves to do things, because it does take a lot of kind of energy, right? As you're adjusting to this new frequency. So just notice when you get that uncomfortable body sensation, rename it. I want to see if there's anything else here. Okay, I'm going to do a shaman card too. Okay, and then we'll go to you guys, whoever's here. Oh, so you actually got, from the Mystical Shaman deck, you got this Mystical Shaman card. Okay, so the tingling of the scalp comes in. So I just want you to watch, like, if you get sort of like scalp tingling, that they're showing me that this is one of the ways that you connect in with spirit, that you talk to spirit. And I don't know if you understand that you can, but it's kind of like they kind of show up, and kind of think about it in terms of that kind of tingly scalp thing that happens. Have you felt that before? But that's what they're showing me happens when you're in the space of sort of like communicating with both sides, because you do have that ability to pull things through from spirit. And based on what I know of you, I do know this about you already. I think that you're in the place of like learning that. And I think that's really what they're wanting you to know, is just watch for that little head tingly stuff. The other thing is, it means that you connect in with spirit through elements of the earth. So things in nature, items in nature, places in nature. Grounding is really important. Saging, Palo Santo, things like essential oils or crystals that actually come from the earth and come from the land. I'm hearing as well that like something you might try to add into your work is sort of opening up the 4 directions, which there's different versions of that, but there's a shamanistic sort of approach to that. And it just feels like I see you working with basically things of the land to kind of create manifestation. And so I do want you to tune into that, because I feel like it's something that's going to provide the balance for you in order to pull through the messages. So yes, I will leave you there. I will leave you with that. Thank you. So I'm going to pull in Solange, and we'll see what we have numbers wise. Hi, Solange.
Hi.
So what numbers do we have going on right now?
We are up to number 4.
Up to number 4. Okay. So the first 2
are Haley and Maria. They already
gone. We've done them. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've done them. We've had Alyssa. Okay. Let's just go in that order, 3 and then 4. And if you guys are here and watching, so who's 3?
Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Number 3, and Grace is number 4.
Perfect. Thank you, Solange.
What?
Okay, so so we'll be all caught up at that point. So if you guys want a reading, get your number. Just say, hey, I want a reading, and Solange is going to help you in the comments. We'll get it going for you guys. Okay, so Emily, I'm trying to start a new business in the new year, and I'm having some hesitation. Okay. Emily, have you been talking to spirit more lately? Because I'm just sensing a slightly different connection with your guides right now. It's almost like the sense that there has been ongoing conversation. And I don't know if my sense is that they're pointing it out because it's sort of new and they're wanting me to pull it through. So I'm going to pick your card here. Okay. I think we might as well just like have pick 2 cards. Yeah. We're just going to go with that tonight, since it's kind of quieter, so we can do that, you know? Okay. Okay. It's interesting. For some reason, it feels familiar, but I feel like I know we've done different readings together over the years. Have I pulled a card for you based on animals? Like, in one of I don't know why animal photography is entering my mind, but it's like almost as if we maybe have talked about it before. I don't know if we've talked about it before, or it's something different. Why do I have a sense of deja vu with this card? Okay, so 6 of Earth, gifts of money, time or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan or paying off debts. What I see here is there's like a lot of moving money back and forth, kind of a lot of, it kind of feels like a lot of busyness, like tuning into this image. Like I feel like I'm seeing these as sort of like her money, and she's kind of moving them back and forth, and it's sort of keeping the scale tipped, but it's sort of as if it's maintaining a sense of balance, but it feels like a lot of work. It feels like a lot of movement. My sense is that you're meant to be choosing something. It feels like there's a lot of jumping around, a lot of moving around. And I feel like they're wanting to point out that it's time for you to get with the thing that you want to stay with. Get with the thing that despite the challenges, that you want to stick with it, you want to do it, you want to be like so obsessed in love with it because it's your purpose. It's why you came here. And I just feel like the way that they're kind of like doing a clock kind of tapping thing is that you're not listening to the nudges, that you're not listening to what you came here to do. And they're showing me that it's already very clear. It's interesting because this animal card, I don't know why, the crown, you have talked about it. Like, yeah, so I don't know what, like the animal thing is something with you, but there's something about spirit animals or like communicating with animals. So I don't know if they're showing a sense of getting like having your guide come in, but this is a very interesting card. I don't get this animal card very often. They talk about delivering the message and not interpreting it. So I don't want to be like too much kind of blocking what's trying to come in. What it says directly on the card is that you understand animals, you communicate with them intuitively. You need to trust your inner guidance as the animals are a part of your life's work. I feel like in the past, you've seen it as animals in this like physical earth plane. And I feel like how I'm seeing it now is animals in spirit, that it's kind of like you can talk to the animals and kind of receive their guidance better than you can the humans. That it's kind of like a thing that it feels like you've just made that arrangement where you want to work with them. So when you're talking about it's been blocking you, I want you to do some kind of YouTube meditation, something that connects you in with like animal guides, because what they're showing me is that you have a sense to follow that easier. It's like you have more of an innate trust in the animals than you might from another like human kind of guide. So I just want you to do that. And they're basically telling me that it's time for you to do the thing that you came here to do. Like, you know what it is. And they're saying that you sort of have made it very complicated. But to just really get honed in a lot more and to stop doing so many things, because in order for things to really move forward, you need to do less. You need to just like commit and do it and like show up for it and to keep going, to keep doing it. That's like the thing that I feel like they're sort of being very like firm about with you. So yeah, they're kind of a little feistier today, a little feistier. So I'll leave you with that. I'm going to go to, let's see. All right. And then we'll go to, I see Darian and Shruti. Hello. I know we are going to, we'll get to you ladies next. Grace, are we doing like any specific kind of thing for you or just a regular thing? I see this comment here. Or just open? We open? Thank you, Emily. I want to pull a divine feminine card for you, Grace. Okay. You really resonate with this deck, so. Why am I feeling like a bit of frustration that comes in with you? It's like that. I feel like I don't know if there's been a situation. I don't know if there's been a situation that has felt like that. It feels like it's more related to a person that has been a bit frustrating. So I just want to name that. Just want to name it. So this Saint Bridget came in. It's saying it's Our Lady of Exalted Light. I give endlessly because the light is without end and my soul is all I need. And so I'm connecting this today with alchemy. And so what I'm seeing for you is that you're being put in this kind of like I feel like I'm even making that sound because I think at times you're feeling like that. It feels like a series of very quick soul lessons. And I see you being like, really, again, like this now? And I just want you to know what's going on, because they're trying to say like, hey, like, in order for like a massive up level to come, we've really got to like get you through some of these karmic things. We've got to get you through some of these things that need to be healed. And you'll notice that like it keeps coming back in different ways and through different people until you fucking deal with it. And so I just feel like you just need to deal with it, because I think you're just like over it and you're like, why? Like, why is this happening again? I see a lot of that. Okay. So you're saying like, yep. So I feel like you're getting it. And so the message that I'm getting around alchemy is that it feels like an important lesson for you to know that like, as a divine feminine, that you alchemize with your light, that you alchemize just by being in the room, and that whoever is the strongest vibration and frequency, there's sort of an entrainment process that happens. So, there'll either be someone that's like, kind of a pain in the ass that's like down here, and they'll either kind of suck you in, or you decide that you don't want to let that affect you, and you really kind of hold your powerful vibration that I know that you can hold, and it'll sort of either repel or sort of make them rise to your level. And so I just want you to really focus on, through all of these situations, not calibrating down, as Abraham Hicks would call it, and just really holding your frequency and really holding your power, because that's the lesson that you're being shown here, is to just keep shining your fucking light as bright as possible. And you don't always get to choose where it goes or who benefits from it, but it just keeps shining. And as a result, it does alchemize a lot of different things. And it's really more about kind of who you're being in these situations versus what you're doing. And so instead of trying to kind of fix and talk and do all that externally, like, I just really want you to start to make it more of an internal process so that you can just clear this stuff and move on to, because I feel like there's a lot of really great things, but these lower frequencies and some of these little lessons have to get out of the way so that you can move into the next phase. Okay. Yes. So, hi, Solange. What do we have going on now?
Hi, so we are up to number 6.
Cool. And so I'm going to go number 6 and then number 5. Who's number 6?
Okay, Ava is number 6.
Okay, and who's number 5?
Trudy is number 5, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go Ava and Trudy, and then we'll see who else wants a reading. Okay, thanks, Solange. Okay, Ava, best career. Okay, so we're going to go in the direction of purpose for you. Ava. Okay. This is kind of random, but sometimes random stuff shows up. I'm just going to put it out there. Did you have a cat or cats growing up? Would it make sense that there might be a cat in spirit that's hanging around you? I don't usually go into that space, but sometimes it shows up, Eva. Sometimes it shows up, and so I'm just telling you what I'm getting. And I feel like there's a cat that's hanging around. I feel like it just kind of comes in with you. Okay. So, Ava, what would be the best career for me? Okay. So I'm going to tune into you, and you just focus in on this question. You just hang out. And I'd appreciate if, especially with like the cat thing, let me know if that makes sense. You do have a cat that passed. Okay. Okay. Interesting. the color that I was seeing, it was kind of like a grayishy, kind of charcoaly color. I don't know what the cat looked like. Max? Okay. I don't know. Okay. Cool. Yeah. It's interesting. Like I was telling somebody about that the other day, and I'm like, I don't really go with the crossed over loved ones. Definitely not the pets, but sometimes they just show up. If somebody's open and that's sort of what I'm picking up from you, then it just kind of comes through with you. Okay. Okay. They're talking about you being the strong one, the strong one. Have there been a lot of things that have gone on in your family where like you've been the strong one, where you've had to hold it all together? Because they're just talking about and kind of describing you as this figure that's kind of like the rock, kind of like the glue to a lot of the situations. And I feel this heartache. I feel this drop in my chest where it feels like there's been some pain and some sorrowful events, more so than a lot of families have experienced. And I feel some of them feel really fresh, like the tears are coming. I don't know what's going on as of recently, if there's been a recent loss. It feels like more like somebody that it would affect a lot of people in a family group, because it's showing me that like you have been the strong one in the situation. So I'm really curious what I'm getting there. They're talking about grounded spirituality and using your voice. So that does make sense. Okay. This is interesting because I feel like this is kind of slightly different for you. But there's something, so the card says you heal with your classes, sessions, and seminars. So spiritual teacher, this has come up before, but for you, I feel like it's more about the way that you use your voice, like that they're showing you, because of this strength and all of these different situations and things that you've been through, that you're meant to be using your voice in a really empowered way. Wow. Okay. I'm so sorry for that, Ava. I'm so I just want to send you so much love. I just want to hold you in my heart, like for hearing about that loss. So it would make sense that you being this strong one, it's like they're moving you into this space of being an empowered voice that helps others through things. And it might be as a speaker. It might be as somebody that writes like posts and hosts communities and helps people, in groups. It might be something more in the form of like, anything I feel like kind of in the writing and speaking and being this empowered voice. Like that's really what I'm seeing for you. It feels like it's the kind of thing that transcends religion. So I always like to show people as well that like it's showing all of these different denominations, that it's not like it means one thing. It's more about these deep experiences in life that bring people together in unexpected ways. And I just feel like you have this leadership quality that has been a part of you. It feels like even from a young age, I see you as like a child being the one that was like kind of like the leader in different spaces. And so, I really want you to trust that. I'm sure that that might not exactly be the thing, like when you're thinking best career, but have you thought about doing things like that? Because they're really showing me that like it's not so much as like you might have a job that makes you money at some point while you're doing all this other kind of building and creating and healing, but they're really showing you having a big impact in people's lives because you're now uniquely qualified with all of these different things to be that empowered voice that is a big part of their healing, that understands them and what they've been through and what they're feeling in that moment like no other person could. And I don't really feel like it's just that one thing, but it feels like there's been a lot. Like I really just kind of get that sense of like wanting to hug you because it feels like it's been many different things. Okay. You were a journalist. Okay. So the writing thing and using your voice would make sense. Okay. Yeah, I do feel like it's like, I imagine journalism might not always be like sharing your own story, but like this one would really be your own story being connected to it. So that would completely add up, Okay. Wow. Thank you, Ava. If there's any other things that I said, confirmations, like it really helps me to know, just like what I'm receiving and if it makes sense to you. And so you're just talking about helping others lose the sun. Okay. Perfect confirmation. Perfect. Well, thank you, Ava. Thank you. I feel like a lot of people that come through here, it is to get a confirmation because we are given our own answers, but sometimes we doubt our ability to hear them, connect with them. We think that we're making it up in our mind. So honestly, I feel like that's a lot of the things that I do here is just bring people through confirmations. And I've never met you. I don't know that, at least in this lifetime that we've met, I haven't known any of your story. And so it's really confirming, right? When we hear somebody that we don't know at all say something that we've been thinking about. And so that's one of the reasons that I love doing this, you guys. Okay, so I know that Trudy was next, and then we'll go back and see. So Trudy, are you here? Hi, Trudy. Thank you, Ava. And if you guys want to join my group, for those of you that are healers that are going to be doing work like that, I do have my How to Make Money Being Magical group, and it's a place for coaches and for healers and for people of all kinds that are basically connecting their career and how they're making money with who they are and sharing their gifts with the world. So that's a community that you guys are all welcome to join. So I'm going to do Trudy next. I am needing direction and guidance on what's the next step in my business venture. I have so many things and directions I want to pursue, but I need to focus on the right one. Okay, yeah. Do you have like two main business ventures? Because the number, like I felt like my time was being divided into like two buckets in relation to the business. And then I was like reading and you're like, I need to pick one. I wonder if that would make sense for you. So Trudy, I'm going to get tuned into you and then we'll pull your card, okay? I don't know if you've been focused a lot on slowing down, but they're showing me you slowing down, kind of like taking a breath and like not reacting in the same way. So I feel like it's coming through as a lot of confirmation in terms of that whatever you've been practicing, that I'm like seeing it as well, that they're just like, yes, like we see that. Good job. We've been asking you to slow down and we see you slowing down now. Good job. This Queen of Fire card is coming up. It is stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself and assert your independence and creativity. So when this card comes in, Trudy, that is a signal to me that you have sort of your realistic businesses right now and that there's like a pipe dream business, one that you're just like, in a perfect world, or if I really felt like if I could do anything, it would actually be this other thing like that. So they're actually showing me this kind of other thing that feels a bit separate. It feels like kind of like a giddiness comes in with it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Because there's a lot of stories that we end up making up about like, well, there's this step that has to happen and then I'm going to do this. And then like my 10-year goal, then that will happen. And there's just a lot of like different things that I just feel like you just need to drop all of that because they're showing me that it's putting a lot of unnecessary pressure on you. And also that it's like directly related to what you're actually manifesting. So I just want you to go directly into whatever the, I'm just going to call it sort of the pipe dream business. They're also showing me that there's some things being held back with you, that you're not yet in a place of full self-expression. Are you here, Trudy, still? I don't see your comments yet, but I want to hear from you. That you're not yet in the place of full self-expression. And so many people say that they want a business for financial freedom, but ultimately, like, I feel like people want freedom, and real freedom comes from the ability to be you, like all of you, and to not carry any shame or what people might think or letting other people outside of you define your value. And so I just feel like there's a bit of that kind of like wildness that needs to be a part of this other business journey. And I think that it might even be a part of why you haven't done it. It's interesting that like I felt like the wind was taken out of me. So there's some situation where you're giving up your voice, you're losing your voice in the situation, meaning that it just feels like you're not being heard, but it feels like it's because you're not speaking up. So I just want to point you back to that. I don't know if you're here. I was going to start to go into another card, but I'm just going to go to another person because you might have had to go. But the Time Master card comes in. And so that for me is just confirmation of what I was saying about the things that you're making up around like time and like this needs to happen first. So that just has to, that just has to go because you bring things into fruition based on how you speak about it. Okay, Darian, how's the economy going to progress in the future of my new business? Well, look at the energy of your new business. How's my economy? I'm not sure exactly. Oh, your phone died? Okay, well, it'll be on replay, Trudy, or I think you can rewind. Trudy, but let me know. Okay, so we're just going to look, it sounds like on kind of like money-wise, Darian, with the business. Am I getting that correct? Okay, cool. And if anyone's watching and you haven't had a turn yet, let me know. And we don't have anyone going after Darian, so we can get you in there. Okay. Okay. They show me like a tapping foot coming in. I feel like I'm tapping my foot as if I'm impatient. And so they're showing me a bit of impatience and bringing in the phrase of like a watch pot doesn't boil. So I really feel like you are different in your business sometimes when you like kind of take a step back and you sort of let things go and release it. Because it does feel like when you have this tighter grip on it, that it's as though like you're thinking about it too much and sort of putting in too much sort of energetic resistance. So they're just showing me the importance of you stepping back. And sometimes that does mean working a little bit less on that. And it also is to not be so impatient because they're just showing me how much you're very much thinking about this as a destination instead of a journey. And it is very much about the journey. And if the journey is not fun, why the hell are we like doing this business stuff anyway, right? Like that's a reminder for you, a really big reminder. The King of Water cards. So the water cards have to do with emotions. I feel like water has a big theme that runs through your life. I feel like water is feeling healing for you. I want you to think about water in terms of like things that help keep you balanced, things that restore your energy, things that cleanse you as well. Even when you take a shower, I just feel like there's a lot of water connection with you and a spiritual water connection that it's important for you to almost like set the intention that the water cleanses your energy, that it just sort of cleanses your energy as you are showering. Okay. I don't know if you've done that before, but I think it's a nice, like little easy thing. This is talking about open your heart and your mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice and charity work. Yeah, it's interesting. There's sort of like this arm crossed figure. It's interesting that I'm trying to tune into money and they're really just trying to show me your energy surrounding. And when I tune into this and when I tune into money, they're showing me that it's not a lack of what you're doing, but it's more of an energetic shift that needs to happen. And they're pointing towards the receiving mode, that in order for you to be in receiving mode with your business, that you need to be in receiving mode in other parts of your life, that you need to be accepting help from other people. When people are like, can I buy you this lunch? Or like, I want to get you this gift. Oh, like, I want to pay you back. Like, I really just feel like it's about saying yes to all of those other things, as well as some opportunities that you might have said no to in the past, some invitations that you might have said no to in the past. Obviously still lining up with your values, but it's really about opening up like the receiving channels by unblocking them in a few different areas, because they're not separate. They're not separate from your business. And so they're giving you some very clear direction here in terms of your energetic work and how you open up those money channels. The 3 of Fire card. Abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time. Make long-term plans. Okay, I love when this happens, because I was like, the impatient thing that I was getting with tapping the foot, I'm like, that is exact confirmation that you need to have more patience, and that you've just been being kind of like very sort of, I feel like kind of like hot and bothered, when they're just like, just take a step back. There's nothing to worry about. And you standing over here kind of worrying and thinking about all this stuff is not bringing it any faster. Just go enjoy your life. And that'll help us out here. That'll help us bring it to you faster. That'll give me some feedback there, Darian. I need to feel like you guys are real people watching me and like interacting. And I mean, it can feel a bit like I'm talking to myself here when no one's talking back. So I'd appreciate it. Oh, okay. What else, guys? Is anybody here that hasn't had a reading yet that would like to go? And Trudy, totally. The live is going to be over here in 7 minutes or less, and then you could watch it. And I did pull a second card, so I would love it as you watch if you can let me know what works. It's accurate. Thank you. Thank you. If there's any specifics that you're willing to share, I love it. As an intuitive, as a psychic, I don't use that word as much, but it's kind of the same thing. It's always good. Like, confirmation never gets old, because it feels sometimes when you don't have the person sitting in front of you and you can't see their face. While it's definitely much more of a cold read, since we just have really your name and your photo, it's you're like a closed clam. I'm like a closed clam. I don't know what. That's funny. But yeah, I always love to just hear the confirmation. I feel like just like as if you were learning a different language, communicating with spirit, it is a lot like that. It's translating the energy, and the more that I do it, the more that I and get the confirmation, the more that we sort of have more signs and symbols and things that make sense to me that I can pull through in other readings and continue to build that trust. And if anyone wants to be one of the last readings tonight, just hop on in here. I'm happy to do it for you guys. I did in my group, I did post a general reading in terms of business and some things to expect in the group that's scrolling across the bottom, how to make money being magical. It is focused on the divine feminine approach to business. So there are some men in there, but they're men that are open to being balanced. We all have masculine and feminine sides, but we live in a very overly masculinized society. And our approach to business has been very overly masculinized. And so for the women especially, it feels very, very off. It doesn't feel like sometimes like a natural place to be in business. And that is why that it's not really using a lot of those divine feminine gifts like intuition and really allowing your emotions to be a part of creation, bringing in creativity. And for men as well, like it is really important to honor that as well and to invite that in. So that's what we do in that group. There's a lot of free stuff in there. There's a lot of content in there. We do challenges. We do other fun things. So if you guys want to join us, I have the name of the group, How to Make Money Being Magical, scrolling across on the bottom. I am here every Tuesday from 6 to 7. So I'll be back next week if you guys want to come visit again. And if any of you guys are business owners that would like to develop some kind of fun live show of your own, some live Facebook show, I am going to be bringing some things into the group related to going live, getting through any tech issues or questions on how to, getting through a lot of the hurdles of like, well, what do I talk about? What would I do for my live? As well as really understanding how you can use it as a portal into like your business universe, so to speak. So yeah, if you guys have that urge, that nudge to start going live and really would like to have a bit of fun in creating your own thing, yeah, definitely join that group because we have some cool stuff going on with that. Okay, so this feels complete. Thank you, everybody. Thank you guys so much. Have a good night, and I will see you guys see you next week. I'll see you Tuesday. Bye.